most teachers have heard of TED Talks, and I think this is definitely worthy of all of us adding to our toolbox the TED Ed site, which allows us to create some lessons based on videos that we've watched. They do not have to be TED Talks, though that's an option. One of the things that I really like about this is that I can draw in by any YouTube video and I can create a lesson off of it. One of the things that I'm hoping that we're all working towards is getting our kids to think, getting them to engage in some worthy discussions, and I'm thinking that using something like this is just a fantastic way. I could really see this used at the middle schools and the high school. So I'm going to go ahead and create a lesson. Keep in mind, I've already created an account, and that's very simple. You can log in using your Facebook account, but the most likely way, or probably the best way to do this, is just create an account. It's free. Create a lesson. It's going to give me the option to go here, and I can search it out, or I can just copy and paste. Oh, excuse me. That's not what I wanted. Let me go back to my email and get the video I wanted. And this is the video that I want. So now I'm going to go here. It's going to open up for me. And this is just a way for me to verify this is the video, and now I'm going to go ahead and create my lesson. So one of the things I can do here is I can give some instructions. This is the very first thing. Watch the video and be ready to think. Next, when we go down here, I can go here to my next stop, and this is a place where I can add questions. And you'll notice up here it says you can only add 15 questions, remove or exclude a question to free up a spot. I don't really need 15 discussion questions, but I think this is a place where I can go in and say, I'm just going to give them something to think about or something to answer. Digging deeper. Here I'm not necessarily looking to ask a lot of questions, but I am going to go ahead and give some context for this. As we study world cultures, we have notions about others. The author makes us think about how we need to broaden our knowledge of others in order to broaden our knowledge about ourselves. Okay, and as part of this lesson, I also have the option to throw in a discussion question. I can add a new discussion, and my discussion title would be, and I would just throw something in here, single story. The author talks using a single story to frame our thinking. And I can add this discussion. This will be ready for when this lesson is published. Finally, I can do just a food for thought kind of a question for our students. So with this, I can just say something in closing. Go to the Padlet page and tell your story. Now, when I'm talking about your story, of course, what I mean by this is, what is it? We all have a story. So I'm going to go ahead and I would give this, excuse me, I was in the wrong spot. I would just link this here. And then students would have that as an extra place. If you had a wiki, if you had something that they could go in and make some posts, you may not even want them to post anything. You may just want to give them food for thought. I just thought it'd be kind of a neat thing that in the end, this would be another place for them to do some discussions. So we're going to preview this, take a look at it, and see what it looks like. Keep in mind it's not published yet. So first steps, the student would go in and they would watch the video. They'd be given a question to talk about what was the author's purpose. And the digging deeper, it would just talk about, as we study world cultures, we have preconceived notions about others, and this would lead into our next section, which would be discussion questions. And here is view the discussion. So if they were to click here, they would be able to do that. And lastly, final thoughts. And this would allow students to go to the Padlet page to add their comments. So when I'm finished with this and I like what I see, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to publish. This would give me somewhere I can copy to a clipboard. I could go here and I could share it in any of these ways, or I could share it through email. I could also take this link, put it into whatever LMS I'm using, whether it be Canvas or Google Classroom, perhaps Moodle, and students would have easy access to it. So I'm going to just copy this to a clipboard, and then we're going to go over here and look at what else we can see. So notice there's another place to create another lesson. We have no activity because no one has seen this yet. But when we do have activity, you will notice we'll be able to go here and review student work. So if students had done something, if they had participated, you would be able to see what students had did, or what parts of this they were able to answer or not answer. So what I could do is I could go in and I could pull up that URL as a student and put that in, fill out the questions to take a look at what what it would look like. But I think you get the idea behind this. So use this TED Ed, use the TED Talks, use a science video if you have one, or a math video. Use whatever you have. I just think this is a great way to incorporate video into your lessons and to give the students something to think about.